Ryan was a boy who lived in a small, quiet village. The village was surrounded by rice fields that shined like a golden sea under the sun. He lived with his parents in a simple wooden house. In front of the house, his mother had a small garden with colorful flowers and herbs, but there was something about Ryan that made his father worried. He was very lazy. While other children helped their families by carrying baskets, milking cows, or fishing in the river, Ryan always looked for the easiest way to do things. Every morning, Ryan went with his father to the fields. But unlike other boys, who worked hard carrying rice sacks and digging the soil, Ryan had only one job: to scare away birds that ate the rice grains. The birds were smart and fast, so farmers used slingshots or ran waving their arms to scare them away. But Ryan thought that was too tiring. One day, he had an idea. Instead of moving around, he tied ropes to wooden poles all over the field. With a small pull, the ropes moved and the birds flew away. The best part? He could do this while lying in the shade. While others worked hard, Ryan just pulled the ropes sometimes and watched the clouds. His father saw this and sighed. What if I get sick one day? How will Ryan take care of the farm alone? But at the same time, he couldn't complain much. Ryan always did what was asked just in the easiest way possible. And so, the days passed, and Ryan remained the smartest but laziest boy in the village. But would his laziness one day bring him trouble? He would soon find out. The Jessamine arrived with unbearable heat. Along with it came a terrible drought. The rivers dried up, the ground became hard, and the rice fields started to die. Then, the worst happened. Ryan's father got very sick. His fever was high, and he could not leave his bed. Now, Ryan had to take care of the farm alone. At first, he thought it would be easy. I just have to pull some ropes like always, he thought. But soon, he realized that chasing birds was the smallest problem. The sun burned his skin, the dry soil was hard to dig, and the water. With the rivers nearly dry, he had to carry heavy buckets to the fields. He tried, but his body was not used to hard work. His arms hurt, his legs shook, and no matter how much he tried, he could not do everything alone. Week after week, the plants died. Ryan watched helplessly as the leaves turned yellow and dried under the hot sun. What was once a field full of life now looked like a desert. That night, he sat under the stars, feeling a sadness he had never felt before. He looked at his hands, now rough and calloused, and thought, why did I never try harder? Why did I always look for the easy way? Now, my family's hope is gone, and it's my fault. But the next morning, fate gave him an unexpected chance. Hearing noise in the village, Ryan ran to see what was happening. In the village square, a royal soldier on a big horse made an announcement. His Majesty, the King, invites the bravest and strongest people in the kingdom to a great competition. The winner will receive a chest full of gold. Ryan's heart raced. A chest of gold? That could save his family. They could buy food, new seeds, and maybe even hire workers to help with the farm. Without thinking twice, he decided to join. But when the villagers heard this, they laughed. Lazy Ryan wants to compete? A farmer mocked. You can't even carry a bucket of water. How do you think you'll win? Another joked, but Ryan ignored them. For the first time in his life, he wasn't looking for the easy way, he was looking for a possible way. He had 3 days to reach the palace. He packed some bread, a bottle of water, and left before sunrise. His parents didn't believe he would win, but deep down, they hoped this experience would change him. And so, for the first time, Ryan began a journey that would test not only his strength, but also his heart. The first test after 3 days of travel, Ryan finally reached the competition site. He arrived at a large clearing where participants gathered around a huge, shining lake. The water reflected the sky like a mirror. The wind moved the trees, and the sound of waves made the place feel magical. But Ryan wasn't there to admire the view. He looked at the other competitors. Many were tall and strong, looking like real champions. Ryan felt nervous. How could a lazy boy like him win against such powerful people? The royal soldier stepped forward and announced the first challenge. The first challenge is to cross the lake. The first 3 to reach the other side will move to the next round. Ryan looked at the lake. The water was deep and cold, and the current was strong. How can I cross this? He thought. The countdown began. 3, 2, 1, go! The competitors jumped into the water, swimming fast. Ryan tried to swim, but soon he fell behind. The effort was too much. I can't win like this, he thought. I need a different way. Then, an idea came to him. Instead of swimming, he ran to the forest nearby. He found broken branches and pieces of wood. Quickly, he tied them together to make a small raft. Using a stick as a paddle, he slowly moved across the lake, while the others became tired from swimming. Ryan kept a steady pace. He passed them one by one until he reached the shore. He finished in 3rd place, earning his spot in the next round. At that moment, Ryan learned that strength wasn't everything. Sometimes intelligence and patience were more important. The final challenge. Next day, the final challenge was announced. Each competitor received a huge block of wood. The task was to push it for 1 kilometer to the finish line. Behind them were many tools, but they could only choose one. The first competitor took a rope and pulled the block with all his strength. The second used a wooden lever to push it with force. Ryan, however, didn't rush. I can't win with muscles alone. I need to be smart, he thought. He looked at the tools carefully and chose a small knife. The crowd was confused. How can a knife help? They whispered. But Ryan didn't listen. Instead of pushing the block, he started shaping it. He carved it into a round shape, like a giant wheel. After an hour of work, the heavy block became a smooth cylinder. Now, instead of dragging it, he could roll it. Step by step, he moved faster and faster until he passed the others. He was the first to cross the finish line. The crowd cheered. No one expected the lazy boy to win. The lesson: this story teaches us that lazy people can be smart, but they need a strong reason to act. For Ryan, his love for his family made him work hard and think differently. If you ever feel unmotivated, find a strong reason to keep going. It could be for your family, your dreams, or to prove to yourself that you can do it. Also, this story shows that thinking smart is just as important as working hard. Sometimes, working intelligently gives better results. So, did you like Ryan's story? If you want to learn how to overcome challenges and reach your goals, keep practicing and never give up.